Bill 1 passes. Joining us now is Texas Congressman Brandon Gill. Congressman, thank you for joining us. Listen, you read that, or you listen to that, you know, one says we're throwing money at them, the other one says we're selling. So I know President Trump enjoys getting money back for things. But to move on to this War Powers Resolution Act, it seems to me like they wouldn't mind if gas prices stayed high and resolving this conflict in Iran lasted all the way until November so they could take advantage of it. It seems to me like they have more interest in their own self-interest than, I don't know, making the world a safer place.
Of course, that's exactly what they want out of this conflict. The longer it lasts, the better Democrats believe it will be for them politically in the midterms. And I think that's frankly grotesque. But, you know, you see these kind of juvenile antics on the House floor, putting forward the same bill over and over and over again. And all I can think of is that this is just Democrats who have kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel for what they think will be popular with the American people. It's kind of like nothing else they've done has worked. The American people don't think open borders are popular. They don't think defunding the police is popular. They don't think trans and kindergartners is popular. They don't think higher taxes is popular. So they're going to this. And I think that's kind of what this comes down to.
Congressman, on the other side of the Capitol, the U.S. Senate had that debate. We played a few clips of it over selling weapons to our Israeli allies who've been extremely helpful to us in this operation against our mutual enemy in the Iranian regime. And 40 out of the 47 Senate Democrats voted with Bernie Sanders. They were defeated overall by the Republicans, plus 7 Democrats voted with them. But that's a large majority of Senate Democrats voting against selling these weapons to Israel. What does that say about where the Democratic Party is right now?
Well, I mean, imagine how deranged you have to be to side with Iran over Israel in any conflict whatsoever. But again, this comes straight back to politics. I don't think that Democrats really care about what's going on in the Middle East. All they care about is acquiring power as quickly as possible. And if that means the Ayatollah, or his replacement, I should say, is in power and terrorizing people, then so be it for them.
Congressman, I want to turn now to something that I'm very passionate about. I know you are as well. You caught the eye of many of us this week. Democrats are celebrating after the House extended temporary protected status for over 350,000 Haitians. Take a look.
I will not stand idly by while our Haitian neighbors are denigrated, dehumanized, criticized, or forced to live in fear of deportation.
This is an important milestone for our hardworking, law-abiding, tax-paying Haitian friends and our neighbors across the country.
H.R. 1689 provides a glimmer of hope. It tells them that America still welcomes the huddled masses yearning to breathe free.
Yeah, that bill only passed because 10 Republicans and 1 independent joined Democrats to get it over that finish line. But it comes just weeks after a Haitian illegal alien allegedly killed a woman with a hammer at a Florida gas station. He got temporary protected status under the Biden administration. So I know that you're passionate about it. I know that you've been speaking out about this. We're not, you know, an extended stay motel for the third world. I agree with you entirely. I don't want to talk about the Democrats here. We know why they want these people here. I want to ask you about these Republicans. And for the American people just trying to figure out how Republicans could possibly jump on board with this, take us into those conversations. Do industry folks who want cheap labor, do they get them in a room and do they talk to them with some special interest? Or how does this possibly happen to get your Republican colleagues to this point?
Well, that's exactly what this is. There is a very large cheap labor lobby in Washington where businesses will come and they'll meet with members of Congress individually, and they will explain to them why they need infinity illegal immigration, otherwise their industry will collapse. You hear members of Congress, actually on both sides of the aisle, who have said that the healthcare system in the United States will collapse if we don't give amnesty to Haitians. One of my Democrat colleagues even came up with some bizarre statistic that 20% of healthcare workers in the United States are Haitian, completely made up. There's no factual basis whatsoever. It's about 0.6% of American healthcare workers are Haitian. But that's kind of what we're up against. And what we need are members of Congress who can hear that and who can think critically and recognize not only that we have a nation whose culture and history is worth preserving against the threats from mass migration, but who can recognize that a lot of the information that you get from the cheap labor lobby is just flat out false.
Yeah.
Congressman, some of these Haitians were first granted this temporary protective status after the 2010 earthquake, and then it just keeps getting renewed and renewed and renewed. So some of these people have been in the country for many years and will continue to do so. At what point does it end?
Well, that's exactly the question I've been trying to ask my colleagues, is that this was not intended to be an amnesty program. It was intended to be a temporary short-term basis for people to come into the United States. That is just metastasized into something that it was never intended to be. But let me tell you, right now, under the current temporary protective status extension, 69% of Haitians covered under that came into the United States under Joe Biden. They came in as part of the left's open borders for 4 years, by the way, which we ran against last cycle. They weren't coming fleeing an earthquake or anything else. And almost all of them, the ones who have asylum claims, are expected to be denied if they haven't already. So these are just illegal aliens in the country that our House of Representatives just voted to give de facto amnesty to.
Yeah. Well, it sure fires us up. I know it fires you up. We thank you for always fighting the good fight, for being a voice of reason. Congressman Brandon Gill, thanks so much for taking the time tonight.
Thanks for having me.